I am not a Gypsy Rose apologist by any stretch of the imagination. I do, however, want to bring up a couple of things. I have not spoken about Gypsy Rose in quite a while, and I really don't plan on speaking about her this year unless there is something mind-blowing or jaw-dropping that happens, and I want to relate it back to her narcissistic personality traits. But a lot of people in comments and things like that are talking about, why hasn't anyone seen the baby? Well, newborn babies are not supposed to really be going outside, and you're really supposed to limit interaction with other humans for, a couple of months. So I would assume that if nobody else aside from people in the family have seen the baby, it's because Gypsy Rose is being protective over her child and doesn't want her child to get sick. So it's not abnormal for a mother to keep other humans away from their tiny human after birth. Second, people were complaining that she and Ken went out for a date night and that she stayed out overnight. That is also not abnormal either. So what if you didn't leave your baby for months? You are not Gypsy. Gypsy is allowed to be whatever type of mother she wants to be because that's her child. So if she wants to leave the baby for overnight at 1 month old, she has every right to do that because she is the mother of that child. It does not make her a bad mother for taking some time for herself and getting some rest and spending time with the child's father away from the baby. I would encourage mothers to do that, at least once or twice a month, so that you are able to encourage and nurture the relationship that you had before the baby came. Because everybody knows that once the baby comes, things are different. You're not the same, your partner's not the same, and the child is what causes a lot of conflicts in the relationship now moving forward. So I do not see anything wrong with her and Ken taking some time to spend together away from the child to continue growing and nurturing their already, formed relationship. If you think about it, they did not really have a lot of time together before Gypsy got pregnant. So at this point, Ken only really knows Gypsy outside of prison pregnant. Third, I want to say that I think that it is absolutely atrocious the way that people went after him on Sir Morbid's Live. I think that that is extremely disrespectful, it's rude, it's uncalled for, and you can tell that the person that went after him so loudly was trying to be louder than him so that you could not hear what he had to say and all you could hear was what she had to say. When you force your loudness over somebody, you are projecting huge insecurities because of whatever situation that you are in. And it just goes to show that this person is nasty, rude, and loves to degrade and belittle other human beings. And I am just disgusted that nobody stopped her and said anything and got her to quiet down or muted her off the live, because that was just disrespectful and uncalled for. Nobody deserves to be treated like that. And it also shows a level of lack of emotional maturity that you're unable to have a uncomfortable conversation with somebody that you do not like in a respectful and calm manner. You don't always have to agree with people, but I feel like everyone deserves respect, especially when you are communicating with someone on a live stream. I don't even know what number I'm on. I think I'm on number 4. Okay, so number 4, people were talking about how Ken bought a house or is possibly renting a house. I told y'all this back in September. Gypsy and Ken have been living together. That home with the round panel that you see in the photos, that is not Christy's house. That is the home that they are renting together in Metairie. You can look at the photos that Gypsy posts on her page. That background, that backyard is not her dad's house. They have been living together since September of last year. Obviously, they are keeping it on the hush because she doesn't want to get in trouble because it's a parole violation. But they have been living together. And whenever Gypsy and Ken were together for a week, they were together at their own home in Metairie together. That's why Christy isn't helping Gypsy take care of the baby, because Christy isn't fucking there. Y'all, like, sometimes I wonder if you have a brain at all and can critically think about anything. You can look at the videos that she posts and see in the videos that she's posting that she's not living at Christy's house anymore. I want to also talk about this whole idea that Gypsy had a natural birth. If she had an epidural, she did not have a natural birth. Natural birth is by definition natural, meaning no drugs, no medication, no nothing. Because Gypsy had an epidural, that by definition means it was not natural. Another thing that there was a lot of discord about was this whole induction situation. I think that that's why the person that I was referring to in part number 3 got all upset and started yelling at Ken on the live. It was a little concerning that they were mentioning that the doctors were going to induce her like a week before her original due date. I don't know the medical reason behind that because I was not there. However, it is not abnormal to be induced with any child that you are pregnant with. It doesn't matter if you're on your first or your 10th. If the doctor feels like there is a reason that they need to induce, they will induce you. When I was pregnant with my daughter, my due date with her was literally the day after my son's birthday. So I opted to induce early to avoid them being born on the same exact day, 2 years apart. So it's not abnormal to be induced. It's also not abnormal for you, the pregnant person, to ask to be induced. And obviously it's up to the doctor whether or not they follow through with that or not. And there's rumors about CPS watching Gypsy. That's not how CPS works. They don't have binoculars sitting across the street watching everything she does. That's literally not how CPS works. In order for CPS to get involved, somebody would have to call CPS and give them information to tell them that there is something questionable going on in the home. Most of the time, CPS callers are kept anonymous, so Gypsy would not know who the person is that called. Not every single CPS caller that calls in is going to give information that warrants a home visit.